Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of KSP Diaries. As always, we're discussing something really important and something really relevant for our children in India today. And given that the World Cup season is on, we have a special episode on cricket and how to go about learning and pursuing cricket both professionally and for hobby as a career in India. So today we're joined by Kyan, Bharucha and Vishal Gokani, who are part of Bayside Sports. We also have a lovely family here of Mr. Yusuf Patni, and sorry, just the
No, it's okay.
Pathan just comes very impromptu because of the player.
Especially documentary.
Yeah, cricket, right? So Mr. Yusuf Patni and his wife Anisha and their son Omar, who is now 17 and has been pursuing cricket since the age of 8. Vishal and Kyan, I'm going to ask you guys to just introduce Bayside Sports and how did it all come about?
Sure. Bayside Sports is basically a 2-year-old company. It's a startup company. Vishal and I have known each other for maybe about 2 decades. Grew up as friends playing cricket, various sports, but cricket was always a passion. So one day we just decided we should turn our passion into a full-time job. And then 2 days later we started Bayside Sports. And both of us were previously working. I used to work with Cadbury Chocolates, Cadbury India Limited. Vishal had his own finance company. We gave all of that up and we started Bayside Sports.
We started with something like say 8 students in 2014 in January, and around 3 months' time we had 100 students, and in a year's time we crossed 600 students. So
it was all word of mouth.
Word of mouth. We didn't expect it to go. So
and you're covering all of Bombay, almost all of Bombay.
Yeah, we started from as far south as Cuff Parade, and we've gone all the way to Mumbai and Mulund and some of the suburbs now in Mumbai. Yeah.
Right. And Omar, tell us tell us about what you're currently doing and your journey through these last 11 years.
Now currently I have played from the D Division team of Stars Cricket Club. I got a chance to play first time in the Kanga League, so I was delighted by it. And also now I get a chance to play from Islam Jumkhana as well, very reputed club playing in the top divisions of Kanga League. So I hope I break through in the starting team, and I have a long way to go, so hopefully I'll go there. Basically I started cricket when I was 8, and it was preliminary, I was getting to know what to do exactly. After that I played basketball, I played table tennis, I did swimming, I did tennis. I never knew exactly what I do. And then when I was 12 or 13, I felt more inclined to cricket because that's what I enjoyed the most. So then I continued with cricket and played for various clubs, played for MIG for 2 years. Then my dad knew one guy, the coach from Police Gymkhana. So he called me and I played there, and he was a good mentor to me. He spoke well, he told me how to go about it. When I had a setback or something, he was after me. And then later on 10th came, I got a break, you say. So I was concentrated on 10th standard, and after I started cricket again. So then I went to another coach, Alamdar his name was. He worked on a ground root level, and he got me to what I am right now, basically. Yeah. And he basically individual coaching really helped me. The Alamdar was my individual coach, and basically he pushed me, made me work hard in training, and made my skills proper, and
right. And you just gave your board exams, so it's possible to manage studying and manage a sport. Is absolutely doable. But we're going to ask the mother that, because they're ones who need to take complete ownership. So do you feel like it's possible?
It's possible. He has been playing cricket till December. I just stopped him from January. Okay. And his fitness and all that, he was working, but with studies you can manage. So
and what about
you just have to be very disciplined.
Right. And what about the diet? So kids this age at 16, 17, 18, they're very inclined. They're the easy targets for junk food and everything that's advertised on TV, I feel like it's all targeted to them. So do you have to take special care about it?
I don't give him regularly, but when he does something very good, I set a target that you have to finish.
So it doesn't change from 6 to 18. No. That's what I do with my kids.
What I do, whenever I have to set a target, like you have to finish so many chapters in particular day after your sports. Yeah. Then I just say I'll give you a treat, of a burger or a pizza, so that works.
Right, but do kids who are playing a sport and pursuing it in a professional manner, do you feel like their diet is any different?
Just a rice, we have to give a little less rice than the yellow of the yolk.
Low on carbs basically. Low on carbs, and less on the fat also.
Fruits, that's it.
But do you feel like your life is any different from a regular, all your other friends, or you feel it's way better?
No, I think when you're cricket, like you dedicate most of it like 6 to 8 hours in practice, traveling time maybe like 2 hours something, because I go to church from Bandra, and so basically you have a packed thing, and then you have your tuitions and you have your studies. So basically out of 24 hours, and if you sleep, suppose 7 to 8 hours, then
where's the time?
Then there's the time exactly. So you're like confined to the thing, and if you have a holiday, you can meet your friends or anything. Yeah, your friends get irritated, like you don't come and meet us every day.
Do you have friends? Or they like all this?
No. They stick with me. They're good friends. They stick with me, and they do get irritated when you don't come and meet them. They are like, you're not a friend, or you don't want to meet us, and everything. But they understand. If you want to, you have a limited time period. It's a sports, right? You can't play till you're 40 or 50.
Yeah.
So it's a limited time.
So they appreciate what you're.
So they are happy. I'm doing something, and. Even they get motivated. They also want to do something.
It's in their potential, so his friends might be wanting to know it forever.
But I want to ask you this question: that while he was growing up, did you ever feel that he mentioned that between the age of 8 to 12, he pursued lots of different sports. So do you feel? Did you make that decision as parents for him that cricket is the sport that he should pursue, or you just let him be?
We saw his interest more in cricket, and even my husband was more interested in cricket.
Right.
So both of them combined together, they were just always talking about cricket.
Right.
And then he started following him properly. So
Right. Kyan and Vishal, do you all feel that cricket is a very natural? In India, it's almost second to a religion. So you just feel like it's easier for you all to get students versus any of the other sporting academies.
I think it's changing a little bit. It's not like, let's say, a few years ago it might have been even easier, but now there's obviously the football is coming in a big way in India. I guess if you look at football and Brazil and cricket and India, these are things that come naturally to the kids from these respective countries. But I think again, there's various philosophies around the world. Like one of my Swiss friends told me, in Switzerland, what we do is we let the child do 4 sports till he or she is about 7, 8 years old, and then the child, we let them decide, and then we focus on them.
Right.
In China, what I hear is that they find that one sport and then they focus on it, and that's why they're so mentally sure they want to do that. In India, we're not so certain in a way, and so the kid tries various things, but I think that cricket does come a little more naturally.
And they've got a lot of role models to look at.
Exactly.
They've got a lot of
role models, and when we were growing up, we had our role models. Now the new role models have come with the new Indian team, so it's an easier fit in a way.
Right. Sejal and Vikram, thank you so much for joining us today. Your son is. He's training with Bayside, and how old is he, and how did you guys go about, choosing cricket, and did he want to play any other sport, or does he play any other sport?
He's 5.5 now.
Okay.
And we actually, like you mentioned, that cricket is a religion.
Yeah.
Our house is very religious, I must say. Cricket a lot happening. So, and I think also being a boy, he kind of got into it very soon. And then we met Kyan and Vishal, so Bayside was an amazing opportunity for us to get him professionally into the game.
Right.
And not just make it bat ball anymore.
Yeah.
And I see him, he's been with them since I think a year, maybe a little more than a year.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He's doing amazing, like he teaches me different shots and he teaches me different ways to play, and I'm like, wow, even words that I didn't know. He already does.
Most importantly,
Do you have?
he didn't choose it for me, he chose it for himself.
Yeah.
So it was like he goes for a football class as well.
Okay.
But he picked up a preference for cricket automatically. So he didn't even have to like make a choice for him.
Right. Is that because you are more passionate towards cricket than football?
Not really. I mean, I'm of course, my whole house is very passionate towards cricket, including both my
Right.
parents. But his friends are more passionate towards football. But I don't know, somehow he always found the more inclination or more liking towards cricket. It's like he gets up every morning just to play cricket with his grandparents. They actually have a small cricket field going on in the hall where they put on the stumps and the servants join in and we join in and the fielding going on, and it's a whole routine in the morning which the whole entire household gets into, and he loves it, and it's like he initiates it.
Right.
Yeah, so I see that definitely he himself has chosen the sport.
Absolutely,
And he's kind of getting formalized in it. It's not just playing. He does it the correct way, which we really appreciate Bayside Sports for that. So,
Right.
they
Sejal, my question would be that do you feel that, I mean, like Kyan said that, earlier it was easier that most kids would take to cricket, but do you think now with so many more opportunities and and the very fact that a lot of academic pressure also kicks in at this at this age, and there's so much more that you want to do you feel it's hard to kind of stick to one sport, and are you ready to kind of take on the commitment if he wants to pursue a sport professionally or at a competitive level?
No, it's definitely harder today with the exposure that all these kids get for various kind of sports and various indoor activities as well. So, I mean, but yes, the way I see Mikhail's enthusiasm for cricket, if he does like to pursue it, I would encourage it.
Right.
That's like a question I would ask Mrs. Patni, that how would you balance the entire academic process over 12 years and cricket if your child gets so involved?
Yes.
Because it's a tough call.
Actually, if the school promotes cricket or any other sport, it is much more easier. But if the school doesn't promote cricket or this thing, then it is little difficult to manage during school hours.
Omar's school was
Not in
favor. So how
Yeah.
did you manage? Like,
Mrs. Jamal used to give us special permissions, whenever he had a match or something, and after he used to finish his coaching, he used to join back the school. But
Right.
she was very helpful.
but do you have to like kind of with all the homework and exams and clashes? So how do you
Yes.
manage?
Once he had exams, so at that time he couldn't he wants to play under 14. So Mrs. Jamali, the principal of Beacon High, she has given him a special permission, and after the cricket, next day he went there and
He gave his exams.
You need to be adjustable. I think if the system is strict, confined, then you need
But
to
she
work
was-
in it. You can't go against the system
she
also.
helped us out.
Like in college, he
Yeah.
was in Mithibai College. During exams, they had a inter-college match.
Okay.
Yeah. So they had to go to Bangalore.
Okay.
So after they returned, they were made to give the exams.
Okay.
But like,
So,
helped
so
us.
you feel like
Yeah.
schools and colleges are now
Yes, they are
opening up
helping.
Yeah,
to
they are. Yeah.
I mean, definitely. I think they're
attendance
but
is
there's,
lenient.
Yes.
Sorry.
they're opening up as there's like lack of space for some schools, so it gets difficult for all the schools to have the cricket team. A lot of schools, as Omar's school, they don't have a cricket ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So right now people approach the school and we're looking for a ground where we can
Right.
get a school, get
Right.
training
But
done.
do you also feel that a lot of parents today are very keen on their children pursuing sports because it adds up to their grades eventually when they're looking at higher education? So there is, there's that thing that if they've played so many sports, they've got so many certificates, then to get into international colleges or to pursue higher education is a lot easier. Do you feel that's also
Yeah,
the case?
that could also.
I think so. I think there are a few parents who are already thinking that far ahead
Yeah,
and are,
yeah.
let's say, more competitive in a way.
Yeah.
Like the parents themselves are more
Yeah, I
competitive.
agree. The parents
Yeah.
are
So,
far more competitive
yeah.
than the children.
Right. So when the parents are competitive, naturally it flows out to the child. Also, the child sort of thinks that I have to do these things. With Bayside Sports, we get a lot of different types of kids coming in. Some kids are coming in because their parents just want to get them out of the house for 1
Yeah.
hour, rather
Okay.
than them be on an iPad or something like that.
It's just
Right.
another classes
It's just
and
another
coaching.
class.
Yeah.
There are other kids, they've just got that in their eye. They've got that look in their eye where they believe they should be playing for India. I mean, at the age of 6 or 7, you know, and they just, that cricket is everything to them. They eat, sleep, breathe cricket.
Yeah.
So, and it's not that we obviously, it's not like we favor that kid over the others. It's just that, you know, we also realize that kid is coming from a family where the family is definitely, you know, like the Patnis out here, they're definitely more supportive of having sports in general in the child's life and cricket in particular.
And we can identify the potential in the child also at the age of 6, 7, 8, as early as that.
Right. So tell me, when you have so many children who are coming out there to play, how is there a time that you ever dissuaded the parents saying that I don't think your child is keen on cricket?
Yeah, we actually have, and I think that's one of the things that makes us a little different. Where we've, you know, like I said, the first example that I gave, that there are some children who are not.
They're just coming because
So we don't go out there and say that your child can't play. We never say
enjoy
that.
the game.
But we in a way we try to tell the parent to put less pressure on the child.
Right.
That's what we're doing, because it shouldn't be like if you don't, you know, play cricket, like the whole world is going to come to an end. It's not the end of the world. He's 6 years old, so I mean he's got his whole life ahead. Maybe he won't take cricket at all. Maybe he'll take something else. So, and some of these kids who come to us, they say, "Sir, I want to play football. Why are you playing cricket?" So those are the parents that we inform those parents that look, he kind of likes cricket, but he's not in love with it.
Yeah.
You know, so don't force him at the game.
Right.
In fact, maybe you can try football.
Right.
And so we've been honest about that.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Sure. Tell me, when you say that, you know, Bayside Sports is all about also the mental, you know, the mental health, I think that's a huge, you know, cricket in general, or any sport for that matter, I think the best part is that it teaches you to win and to lose. So you accept and embrace defeat as easily.
Yes.
And I feel that that's something, because we don't have too many outdoor facilities, or we're not like a nation that's driven by sports, let alone cricket.
Yeah.
Do you feel that more and more parents need to encourage sports? Because I mean, with the way the suicidal rate or the mental health issues and problems that are coming up is because people cannot hear a no or cannot accept failure.
Yeah.
See, according to my point of view is,
Uncle, you need to be a little louder.
According to my point of view is, from the beginning, you know, when the child is born, you know, you should watch your child. Like in Germany, you know, you see, you know, the most of the swimmer, they are very top, you know. As soon as they're born, you know, they put it into the water and you see, you know, how it swims and all. My child, you know, Omar, you know, when he was 5 years old or 6 years old, you know, I brought a complete sets of that cricket kits and all, you know. And, you know, I gave him a bat, you know, he started playing like a cricketer. He has not taken the guard, but he was on the middle stamp. And when I used to throw the ball, you know, used to hit the ball properly. So I thought of it, you know, that my child should play, you know, cricket.
Right.
But, you know, as he said, you know, from the age of 8 to 12, you know, he was inclined to, you know, football and all these things and all, you know. And then he started playing cricket. So, according to me, you know, the parents should not pressurize the children, you know, to play the cricket and to win, you know. See, winning is not only the criteria, you know, to come up. If you lose also, you must think, you know, I told my son, you know, if you got out, you know, early, you know, you should think, you know, why and what remedies should be taken into consideration, you know, to according to the fast, because he is the opener or one down batsman. So the fast bowler, you know, and the beginning, you know, the dew is there and all, you know, the ball comes, you know, very sharp.
Right.
So parents, you know, should not
pressurize the child.
They should be a friendly, you know, to the child, you know, and
but
say,
today I have to
disagree,
and I'm sorry to interrupt, but today it's all about goal-oriented sports.
Yeah.
He's playing, he should play the best or play for XYZ competition. And today you will find that increasingly all schools or all academies or all institutions, they all have a competition by everything. And even that is a benchmark for the parents. Acha, nahi jeeta, to kyun nahi jeeta? So do you feel that you guys face a lot of that? And
we do face.
And it's become very goal-oriented or result-oriented rather.
Yeah, I mean, there's one very interesting survey that was conducted. It was conducted in the US, so maybe it doesn't directly apply, but I think it's starting to apply now.
Yeah.
So this was conducted to kids who were growing up as pro athletes. You know, they were good enough to play at a national level in the US and then maybe international level through school and then college as well. And the survey, and these are the kids who then failed to take it and failed to live up to their potential. So the survey asked a very straightforward question: what is the one time that you remember that you feel you hated the most with regards to the sport that you're pursuing? And you know, they're given them some multiple choice answers. Overwhelmingly, the respondents responded saying that the one time I hated it the most was the drive back after the match.
Oh.
You know, because that's when the parent says,
Makes you realize.
I mean, if you're successful, the parent says you should have been more successful. If you failed, the parent says, why did you fail?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's
So there's a no-win.
I never ask him how much did you score when he comes back from a match, you know, because if he scored well, he'll tell me on his own, but if he's not done well, he'll just not play.
But do you feel that there was pressure, or amongst all your other friends who are playing, any particular parent who pressurizes and that child has lost, any of your friends who've lost interest in the game because there was a lot of pressure?
See, if you pressurize, then I think the person gets scared. He won't be able to perform at his the capacity which he has. So it's important to work hard, work on your game. If you fail, then work on it. Talk with your sir. What should I improve? What should I do? And play naturally, because it's important.
Is there a sense of disappointment when you come back home that I've disappointed my parents? And
you don't feel I disappointed my parents. I think I disappointed myself. That's why I think to myself. I think you say that you could have done much better in some occasions. I think it's important to put your head down, keep working hard. If you fail, it's okay. It's okay. People get on 0. People get on make hundreds. People make 50. It's fine.
But when is that selection point? Do you feel like I could have made it, but I didn't make it? Or
yes, setbacks do happen, but it's important to carry on, to improve each and every day. If you don't improve each and every day, then you'll never be able to grow as a player. So it's important to carry on. Yeah, you need to let go.
Out on 0, so it's okay.
It's fine.
But do you feel like there's a lot of pressure from your friends or family or relatives
no.
that
They never make an issue?
Acha, he didn't make it, or he made it.
There, selections are there, and suppose he's not made it or something, you know. There are some people who call up, he's not made it.
Oh. So how do you react to those people?
It's okay. I just support him then.
You remember that when you do well, you call them and tell.
I usually tell he's just not playing, he's studying also. And he's got good scores always, you know.
Right.
So that is more important. Right. And there are children just wasting time doing absolutely nothing, watching TV and doing nothing. So I feel he's doing much more better than the other kids.
Sejal, do you feel that, when your son is playing, do you feel that eventually he needs to either played well or not played? Do you feel like there's a mid path for you?
I think it's a balance between both. In terms of he get this whole thing of I've lost.
Right.
I'm trying to explain him that focus, it's okay to lose. And that's what I think the whole sports, getting into a sport creates that balance and gives you that entire it's okay to lose, it's good to win, but it's okay to lose kind of thing. And for kids early this age, it's good to learn that.
Right. But do you feel that
I keep trying to tell him that it's okay to lose, but you need to perform better in order to win. It's not
right.
But you need to push yourself that little extra in order to be from where you are to where you need to be. And that comes with a little bit of sportsman spirit which we need to teach our kids, because you just can't be a winner in every single game. Like he said, you can't score 100 in every single match. So there has to be a right balance, and I guess that Vishal and people like Kyan will play an important role.
Ours is like those people listen. Right? Yeah, okay. I think their internet connection was a little low. So coming back, you were saying something, Kyan. Vikram, are you talking?
Sorry?
Did you say something?
No, I just said, can you hear us, because we lost video for
Yeah. No, we can. So my question to you actually, Sejal, was that do you feel that, do you want your son to be as so either he plays and he pursues this level of cricket, or you feel that even if he's just playing for, he's just playing for leisure, it's okay, it doesn't really matter?
I think he kind of will be able to tell me that as he grows, depending on the interest that he develops and sustains with it. If he definitely sustains this kind of interest, what I see today, then I'm absolutely okay and happy if he goes ahead and pursues cricket, professionally and does well. But I mean, like we feel that there's so much out there. So if he sustains this kind of interest, yes, definitely, I would like him to pursue.
Yeah. And do you feel like he can make it into a career, or are you not thinking that far?
I'm honestly not thinking that far.
Okay. Okay.
He's too young.
So, Kyan and Vishal, coming back to you, what are the different? So, example, her son is only 5.5. How does one progress? So, what are the benchmarks that a parent has to judge or go by, saying that, these are the various levels that the child needs to play before he plays for the big picture, which is playing for India? You mentioned that there were a lot of hardships, and sometimes you make it, you don't make it, and you are trying to fight through that population, which is massive. So what are the different levels that you play through?
First and foremost, we just encourage parents to let their kids play as many sports as they want. I mean, it shouldn't be about cricket at this age and only cricket.
Right.
Of course, the child might come, like Mikhail has started telling his parents, I want cricket, I want cricket. So that's a different story. If the child is happily doing that, it's fine. But what we encourage parents to do is let them get involved with multiple sports.
Right.
In time, if cricket is the one sport, it's like Omar did, right? He did choose cricket over other sports.
Right.
Tennis stars choose tennis over other sports, and that's the way it should be, I think. So step one is that. And as just one thing I want to point out is Omar comes across as a mentally tough kid, who knows what he wants and he knows what he wants from the game.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, not a lot of kids are at that level.
Right.
And so that's the other thing that we would try to inculcate in Bayside, that we want kids who are able to not just withstand pressure, because that's a cliche, right? You have to withstand pressure, but you have to be able to accept that sometimes you won't be the best. But that's okay. It's all about the day, and it's all about one ball. As Mr. Patni pointed out, especially as a batsman, you have one ball. I mean, you make one mistake, you're gone. Yeah. So it's not the end of the world, because the next time you'll do much better, and that's the way of life. Yeah. And so that's what we try to talk to kids about. But again, coming back to the different levels. Yeah. I mean, Vishal, you want to respond to?
So different players, they can, like, as Mikhail's playing cricket, we've been training him since a year almost. Mm-hmm. So Mikhail's done an under-8 tournament, and he did very well. He performed well in the under-8 tournament, and as young as like 5.5-year-old, he knows what a feeler is at point, long off, long on, mid off, and all the fielding positions, right, which is very important at the age of 5.5, 6. When he watches a game, I know, like, his father tells me Ashwin's got a catch at point.
Yeah.
So he knows the players at 5.5.
Yeah.
So he's doing a under-8 tournament.
Right.
And after under-8 tournament, he can do under-12 tournament, under-10 tournament, under-14.
Right.
Then there's
and all of these are played at city level, state level, district level.
Yeah, I mean, there's right now, for example, there's not so much, as I was saying earlier, the infrastructure or the organization to take it at an under-8 level. So Bayside Sports ourselves, we provide that opportunity. We have our own internal tournaments, kids from different parts of Mumbai coming together and playing. But as you grow up, you will have your college tournaments, your school tournaments first, your college tournaments, and then eventually, like Omar plays with Kanga League. Then you'll have your Ranji trophies, and then hopefully someday you'll have India.
Right.
I mean, our dream, for example, someone recently asked us, what's your vision for Bayside Sports? Our dream is to get at least one kid who will play for India someday. We want to take him from the age of a Mikhail, from 5, and we want to see him play for India.
Right.
And it could be a girl cricketer. I mean, you have coached girls.
That's another question I was coming at. That when you think cricket, it's only boys, and more boys, right? So what about the girls?
I mean, we've coached girls. I mean, there was this one summer, I remember, I think it was a year ago, at Malabar Hill, we had 85 students, out of which maybe 50 were girls.
50.
Yeah, but the thing about girls, the interesting thing about girls playing cricket is that if one comes, 5 will follow. But to get that first one and convince her to play with a group of boys or among a group of boys is tough.
Yeah.
But what we learned I mean, we really I mean, it's astonishing that the girls who are the same age as the boys are better
And more
because
serious.
they're more serious. They're not so distracted. They're more flexible with
Diligent.
stroke play.
Okay.
Yeah, physically and
yeah.
mentally, they're just like a level above. Unfortunately, like one parent told us, she's a girl. I wanted her to have fun, but then that's it. You know, I don't
Yeah.
want to re-enroll her,
Yeah.
and so we got a lot of dropouts.
Like,
Okay.
girls are learning at the same age. Boys want to tell the coach, "So I know this shot,"
Yeah.
and the girls are ready to learn that.
Yeah.
The same thing.
Yeah.
And these 50 kids were from one club.
Yeah,
It's not
one
like all
club.
of them. It was just from one club. We
Just
got
one
50
club.
girl enrollments.
As young as 8, as old as
Yeah.
14.
14.
I think 14.
Wow.
So and really they outperformed the boys in that summer,
Yeah.
but they never came back because they don't have that support system. And
Yeah.
if one goes, 5 will go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But and I also think that the parents will always say that, you know, there's no future for Indian women's cricket or whatever. So what's the point of her pursuing? You know, that mindset would have had caused a lot of
In
dropouts.
fact, there's less competition amongst girls if you
Yeah.
see. There's less amount of girls playing cricket in India.
But you know, that's a story I hear in you know. So I have 2 daughters, and every sport that I enroll my child in, the service say no, she must pursue it because there's no competition in the Indian girls.
Yes,
You know, so
that's
under
true.
6 or under 8, she can easily win because and it's disheartening.
Yeah.
I mean,
in a way,
I feel
it's-
good in a way that okay, you know, she has potential or whatever. But the other side is to see that it's disheartening because there is no competition. So
Yeah, because
you
what
know.
that tells you is that if she does go to the international stage, she might get smashed because
Yeah,
she's not
yeah,
good enough,
absolutely.
but she's just making it. I know that it's a kind of mixed kind of feeling that you
Yeah.
get. But it is true. I think that if there are parents who are saying there's no future, I think what they should think about is 20 years ago there wasn't really a future pursuing cricket, but today you have IPL,
Yeah.
you have
Yeah.
other opportunities. So think 20 years forward. Think
Right.
20 years from now, what might be the opportunities?
Yeah,
There might be
women
international
IPL, we
clubs
might
for
have.
women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's the same thing happened with football or soccer as they got in the US.
Yeah.
I mean, today football or soccer in the US, it's really a female sport, and the
Yeah.
females have taken it to the next level.
Sure.
So I mean, I think that there is definitely potential. Like I have a daughter. I'm hoping she becomes a cricketer for India someday.
So like
See,
2 of my daughters.
Islam Gymkhana, you know, they are intending to start, you know, inshallah next year, you know, for women cricket.
Oh, very good.
Oh,
We have already I called Dinah Adelji, you know, as a chief guest. She was a former captain
of
also
India, yeah.
of India, and she's at railway now. She is helping us, you know, to form a
Excellent.
women cricket,
Okay.
and we have slotted one complete, you know, net, you know,
Right.
for the women cricket.
Right.
And our president, Mr. Zakaullah Siddiqui, you know, he passed the resolution and he said,
Oh,
yes,
okay,
we
right.
should go for it.
That's good.
Right.
And we are intent to open an indoor cricket also.
Right.
At the time of rainy season, you
Yes.
know, we have
Right.
Yeah.
very big problems. So we are solving that.
Right. Tell me, infrastructure. Like we were talking about this earlier, and you know, especially in Mumbai, when 4 months of the year you have rains, has the infrastructure play a role in parents picking an outdoor sport, or you know, the whole rhythm of playing? That you know, I mean, 4 months of the year you still play, or
Yeah, I mean, we sort of make it happen. We sort of innovate and find little rooms and little places, little corridors. You know, the stereotypical image of cricket in India is like even in the monsoons, these street kids are
yeah,
playing.
yeah,
So I think it's like nothing stops you if you love the game, you know. And what we do is we, like Mr. Patni was saying, we look for indoor nets or we look for indoor
Right.
areas. Sometimes we look for even a tiny room and just keep the thing going, you know, just
Right.
keep the practice going.
right,
And of course, during the monsoons, you have to concentrate on your fitness because you tend to like be lazy, and
Yeah.
you know you have those cloudy days where you're sitting and having
Right.
your chips and pizza at home, and you just need to like focus on your fitness at that time.
right, right.
Some clubs are very supportive to give us a ground indoors, like Malabar Hill Club.
Yeah.
So the secretary is very supportive of them, Mr. Nitin Shah. So he supported us like since 2 years
Right.
during monsoons. The entire setup
Yeah, he
covers
helped us build a cover and
build
we
a cover.
continued the process.
The process,
basically. Yeah.
Okay, now coming to back to you, Omar. What are the highs and lows of being a sports person?
I think the highs are when you do perform well. Obviously, if you perform well, you feel over the moon, and people are supportive and everything to you. That's the high. You need people to always tell you. You need mentors at this time to talk to you all the time. Like they'll talk to you. How you're doing? Are you having any problems? Should I this thing suggest you something? They'll give you some of the other tips. That's where my coach Azim Khan and that's Syed come into play. They help me all the time, and also my father's fellow managing committee friend Arman Malik. He's very helpful to me. He tells me what to do this drill, get your bat straight. Whenever there are obviously some lows are obviously there where you have a lean period where you're not just able to get a single run also.
Right.
There are always those times. So in those times you need to be this thing like hardworking, and you need to just work hard and not get disappointed and just this thing give up everything. You need to be calm, cool, and you need to this thing get back to where you were before.
Right.
So those stuff are very important if you want to
He's
become
following Ajinkya Rahane because he's calm always.
But tell me, is it how did you in your head manage that academic pressure that I have to study and I have to do this? How was it for you growing up? I have to practice for 8 hours, I have to sleep for 8 hours, and the rest need to be in school. So how did you go about that whole?
You tend to not follow those stuff, but you need some particular guidance. That's why your parents come into play.
Yeah.
You need someone to keep on telling you like go to sleep. Now's the time to study, Omar. Now's the time to play, Omar. You need that because otherwise you'll not do. It's human nature to just say no.
Actually, the concentration level when he studies, it's his habit. He doesn't study for 8 hours or 4 hours.
Yeah.
Only 1 hour or 2 hours, but the concentration is 100%.
100%.
How do you feel sports has benefited him as a child?
Because he's very much disciplined.
Yeah.
No bad habits, no wasting time here and there. And I know that he's in good company.
Do you feel like you're missing out on life by not having any of the vices?
No, you do get time like in the rainy seasons is there where
Yeah.
4 months are there. You don't need to play cricket all the time. Maybe a morning of cup fitness session or some drill or something at home when you get time. Otherwise, you can give your missed out time to your friends.
Okay. Vishal and Kyan, parting thoughts on on just ensuring that a lot of kids play sports and pursuing cricket, the right age that one needs to start, and how to gauge which department of cricket also is your child really good at, or picking can a child play two sports together? That's all of those questions together.
Yeah, to answer your last question first, I think something like swimming and cricket, swimming and football, they go hand in hand. Swimming gives you fitness, it makes you an athlete basically.
Yeah.
So I think, there's no doubt you can play 2, 3, and as I said, encourage them to play as much as possible when they're young, because that's when they have the time, the flexibility. As you get older, you get stressed about everything. So just like enjoy the time when you have it when you're young. I think that's what parents should remember. And I think just to I'll end it by saying I think sports in general, and for me like cricket in particular, is a reflection of life, and there will be highs and lows like you asked earlier, and you just have to work through it. It's a very philosophical thought, but you just have to work through your highs and lows like you do anywhere in life. And I think sports just makes you mentally capable of taking care of it. And I really do hope that a lot of Indian kids pursue it, even if they don't have the socio-economic backing, because I think it takes you away from all the vices that you said, and it just makes you a happier person.
Right.
And as Kyan said, there is a lot of highs and lows in cricket. So in this, coach plays a very big role in child's cricket career. Like when me and Kyan, during our age, we had a lot of different coaches, and they were not like always when you face as you said, when you face defeats, the coaches wouldn't stand by you as a coach, mentor, Omar. That's difficult when you are facing a defeat. The mentor which we have, the coaches which we have now are much better than what we had before.
Right.
Like it was very, rigid before,
Right.
So now things are changing.
Our coaches a job before, now it's a relationship.
It's a relationship now.
Right.
So young boys, again, they have to be mentored for the game. They should enjoy the game. That is where they are going to learn more, and that is where they're going to take it as a career maybe sometime.
Right.
So the coaches have to guide them. The kids, a child of 7-year-old comes, he bowls off break. After 3 sessions, he wants to bowl fast.
Right.
So the coach is identifying that. He can bowl either ones, but what is the ball he can carry on? What is the thing the coach? So it's a coach is a very important person in the whole role setup of a child from 5 years till he's 18, 19 till Omar's age. You know, it's very important to mentor the child and get them the positive cricket in that child's head. Get the child patient. If he's aggressive, okay, frame it as Sehwag. He's a Sehwag material. This is what a coach sees. This is a child who's playing hard. He wants to play cricket. Then see what the child is saying. View it from the child's angle. So this is what a coach needs to see in these days.
Right.
You know, so it's very important to have the right coach.
And what age would you recommend parents start or
Sports in general?
Cricket.
or cricket, like professional cricket coaching?
Yeah, I think that about 6, 7 is a good age because I think before that the kids just there to have fun, you know.
Hand-eye coordination,
catching
skills.
the ball.
Right.
That's what
Earlier is just to get them acclimatized to the game
That's
and
true.
all of that.
Know the
and-
basics of the game, fielding
And
positions.
tears, you know, the team spirit,
Yeah.
the losing together, winning together.
Right.
It's okay. It's all natural. It's life.
Right.
So that's what we want them to experience when they're younger. But obviously the technique and all this start coming in around 7,
Sure.
7, 8. In fact, at Cross Maidan, correct me if I'm wrong, they don't allow you to actually play season ball cricket until you're 6.
6.
Okay.
Six is the age,
So-
after six.
Okay.
So they've got it right.
Right.
Yeah.
Mr. Patni, do you see or are you okay with actually Umar taking up cricket as a profession, given that it's a short lifespan of a profession?
I want my son to play, cricket only. Yeah, and he should take, the cricket as life, And I think, I'm with him, and if God with us also, inshallah, he will play for India.
But do you ever? I mean, we all wish you the best. But do you feel that it's such a all these professions are such high risk professions that the ups and downs. Today you're not fit, you're out. You're not performing, you're out. Do you feel that for a boy to take that up as a profession, it is okay, and you are okay as parents to be supporting him in that decision?
Yes, actually, if he's out, out of the team, because of the fitness, then I agree with the coach and all. Yes, he should be out, because he's not fit.
Yeah.
But as far as the game is concerned, if he's out, because of that, so he should think twice, why and
Right.
what and all.
Oh, very well said.
I think it's important to try also. You can't just give up from the start, go, then you'll never be able to reach a level.
Correct.
So everyone's dream is to play for India, definitely as the topmost level you can reach to. But it's important to try, not settle for second best. Always try for the top, and maybe you'll reach somewhere. So that's very important.
And he's
That's
also
very good.
pursuing his engineering, like you said. So was that like a conscious decision that he has to pursue something professionally alongside cricket?
It's important to study. It's important to study
he
with
should be.
cricket. Obviously, cricket is uncertain. Obviously, but it's important to try out cricket, because if you don't try, you'll never be able to reach a level. It's simple as that. And study. Obviously, you have to study. You can't not
That's
study
true.
and give time to cricket. Studying is the most important right now. If you want to do something, so it's important.
Madam, I'll give one
Yeah.
info, See, for Omar, what we did, from 11th standard and 12th standard, and for future also, we are calling, the professor in our house,
Mm.
and they are teaching him, so that, he should get through with the exams. So, by the grace of God, he has done, very well in these exams also. And on 11th of April, he is appearing for a JEE for entrance engineering exams also. And we have called all the professors from the beginning, of the year until now,
Right.
So you can play cricket also, and you can go for the studies together.
Sure.
But you have to have a program for that.
Right. And just a question for anybody who's planning to pursue or take up sports as a career. Do you feel like there needs to be a lot of financial planning into putting that? Is it an expensive proposition?
It is.
Yeah, you need to. I think it's important to be individual coached. Unless you're super talented, then it's a different story altogether.
Right.
But I think a person needs to be individually coached, which I got, thanks to God. You
And
need
your
to, you need,
parents.
yeah, and my parents. You need to, I think you need to get individually coached. You need special attention. Then only you will be able to improve as a person. Because before I was 14 or something, I was grouped. You were like in
Yeah.
camp basically. So no, you're dependent on yourself. You need to understand yourself and you need to do yourself. And I wasn't improving that much as I wanted to. So when I started individual coaching, like in months time, I was improving. I was getting faster results.
Right.
So I think at this time, if you want to become professional, then
And it's
individual
costly.
coaching, then it's
And
very
it's
costly.
costly, right.
Definitely.
You
Because
said.
I have my own net. You have
Right.
to pay for the net. Then the coach is coming,
Yes.
Then fielding coach is different.
Right.
Okay, the bowling coach, you can manage because he's a batsman, na?
Yeah.
So that is okay. But batting coach and the fielding coach, you have
Yeah.
to pay separate,
Oh, okay.
It's very
It's a-
interesting
it's a-
dynamic because it's almost like in a way the Omar is being handcrafted as a
Yeah.
professional cricketer, and it's good.
Right.
It's good. It's very good to see, and hopefully after this more kids will learn about
Right.
it. But if you go to Cross Maidan, I think you will be the first to agree. If you go to Cross Maidan, Azad Maidan, Old Maidan, Shivaji Park, and in fact all the Maidans across
Yeah.
India and
Yeah.
smaller town tier 2, tier 3 India, not everyone has the economic
Yeah.
opportunities.
Yeah.
Correct.
True.
There's
So-
one coach for 40 kids.
In fact, that's why we started Bayside, because we saw it's not right the way it's being done. But I guess as you said, thankfully when you have the opportunities, you make the most of it. If you don't have the opportunities, you bloody well be talented because it's very
Yeah.
very
It's
very difficult.
expensive.
That's why Kyan is here. And Vishal is here.
We support a lot of students who are like
Yeah.
not make a cut
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
fees.
That's-
And
that
that
is
is why we
Yeah.
don't want anyone to lose on training because of fees or something
Yeah,
like
exactly. We want. I mean, for us really, like if we have, for example, 3,000 kids who are training with us, if we get one kid who plays for India, I mean,
Right.
even if we don't have to take a single rupee from him till he reaches that level or till she
Right.
reaches that level, we know that's what we were here for.
that. Even
So-
even for special child, if a child is not, if it's
Yeah.
a special kid, we'd
Yeah.
love to train a special kid also.
We have in the past also.
Yeah, train.
Yeah.
So these are the challenges we like to face. The more difficult it is, the better it is for
Where it
us.
is, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Umar, last question to you. Summarize the World Cup this year for us, and who's your role model?
I think we have been playing very well. We won all the group games, so it's very good to go. We get the fourth team of the other group. Hopefully, it'll be a easier team than the other three. Like Australia, they're quite difficult. So hopefully, we can progress in the tournament. Hopefully, win it, and that should be our goal. And as for role
So
model,
your favorite team, and who do you see in the top 3 or 4?
top four, I think it should be India, Australia, New Zealand, and maybe South Africa. I think
Okay.
that will be
Do you
good.
guys agree?
Yeah,
I think
South Africa, New Zealand.
I think New Zealand's looking really good.
very good.
I mean, this is if they don't win it this time, I don't know when they'll win it. I mean, this is their chance. And I'm sure Vikram will have an opinion on that because I know he's a big.
New Zealand. fan.
Vikram, your predictions for this year's World Cup?
India all the way. There's no doubt about that.
Besides India, yeah. I know you're religious, but
I think India, Australia, New Zealand, and there will be a fight between Sri Lanka and South Africa because it will all come down to that match between Sri Lanka and South
I
Africa.
hear that you're the cricket guru, and all the betting all happens at the Malabar Hill Club. So
all the data. Yeah.
all the data.
No, I love cricket, so it's like a proper religion for me. So I follow it as much as possible.
Right.
In fact, we friends got together and formed a small league where we actually bought players and now we're following the point system and trying to get a winner. So there was like strategies from before the World Cup started to now the World Cup ending. Everyone has their fingers crossed. But yes, India has outshone themselves. Like all they're expecting to do this well. And I think they have the potential to go all the way this time.
Okay. And Omar, your favorite player? You idolize that player.
Virat Kohli, I guess that will be my favorite.
For
player
Anushka Sharma or for his
on and off the field.
On and off the field.
On and off the field.
Be careful.
Smart. He is a really smart kid. Okay, thank you so much everybody for joining us. Thank you Sejal and Vikram. Thank you Kyan. Thank you Vishal. Thank you Mr. and Mrs. Patni and Omar. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.